Okay, we're a little less than 2 minutes out. One minute. Hello and welcome to Take 6. I am streaming executive producer Thomas Mates, filling in for Julie Broughton today. She is out at a teaching event, helping to educate the young minds of America. We're very proud of her for out there doing that. She'll be back later this afternoon, starting on News 6 at 4. With all your weather, especially with what's going on in the tropics right now, which we are all paying very close attention to. Speaking of which, we'll be joined a little bit later by digital meteorologist David Nazario. He'll be breaking down what's going on in the tropics, why we got a little bit of a curveball today coming out of there, and also our local forecast. We've got some nice weather on the way. If you've been outside today, it is pretty gorgeous as it is, and it could get even better this weekend. But before we get to all of that, in addition to being the holiday season and the winter season, it is also the cold and flu season. And as such, you need to make sure that you are protecting yourself this cold and flu season, not just yourself, but also your family, those older generations that you may visit. You've got to make sure grandma doesn't get sick. So as such, we are going to be joined today by News 6 reporter Stephanie Rodriguez. Sorry, I was blanking on your name for just a split second, I'll be honest, but I'm juggling a lot of balls here, doing this whole thing by myself. Stephanie, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It is a gorgeous day out here. It's nice and windy, which is not great for my hair, but great for being outside. So it feels good.
Yes, and you are at a free flu shot event put on by AdventHealth in partnership with News 6 out there getting results in the community. Tell us a little bit about where you're at, what's going on, and what people can get today.
Yeah, absolutely. We're here on University Boulevard. There's this AdventHealth Center Care here location, and you can see they're setting up right now for that free flu clinic that starts today at 2 o'clock. It goes until 5. You don't need insurance. You don't show any ID. You just show up and you can get your free flu shot today. In addition to the flu shots, there's also going to be some family fun as well. We see there's a popsicle stand that's getting set up now. We've been told there'll be some food, some live music, and again, just an opportunity to come out and get a free flu shot. As you said, cold and flu season is here. I spoke to an AdventHealth doctor earlier, and he told me they're already seeing cases of the flu, and we have those groups that are more susceptible, including children and seniors and people who already have pre-existing health conditions. A lot of complications can come with the flu, as it is a respiratory virus that impacts you. There are hospitalizations that we see every year. So the hope is to prevent that by getting the flu shot now. And this is actually the perfect time to get your flu shot because it takes a few weeks for the flu shot to get in your system and to create those antibodies to protect you from the virus. So peak flu season is December and January. So right now, middle of November, perfect time to get it, to protect yourself and protect your family. You can come out here. It's free. 6 months and older children encouraged to get their flu shots as well. So this is an fantastic opportunity to protect yourself from the flu that changes every single year. So that's why you have to make sure that you're up to date on your vaccines.
Yeah, and as you said, you're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting those generational households, and we're all getting ready for the holidays. We're gonna have Thanksgiving dinner, we're gonna have Christmas, whatever your holiday of choice is. You're gonna be inside in your house with family for a prolonged period of time. That's where these viruses tend to spread, and as you said, they're already popping up in the area.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the other things that the doctor that I spoke with earlier mentioned is to just make sure you're on top of hand washing. Like you said, people are going to be at your home. You're going to be doing a lot of things. You're at the store, Christmas shopping, holiday shopping, whatever it may be. You're touching a lot of things. So just making sure that you're on top of the hand washing, like we saw when we were in full pandemic. There's a big stress on hand washing. He wants everyone to continue doing that, and that is a great way to limit the spread of the flu and other respiratory diseases, because they are seeing other things aside from the flu, like COVID and RSV, which, as we know, impacts young children a lot as well. So getting the flu and making sure that you're on top of your health and wellness by protecting yourself in those simple ways day to day will really make a difference.
Yeah, and you were showing us before, they're getting set up right now. This event starts at 2, but it takes a small army to make these events go off. How many people are out there right now, just by your estimation at least?
Oh gosh, there's at least 15 people, and we've seen a lot of people trickling in and out. You can see they've been putting up tents. They're bringing out all of the stations, and then of course, once this is all set up, we'll have the providers who are going to come and be getting the flu shots and getting people signed up so that they can get their flu shot here quick and easy. And like I said, we're maybe a mile away from UCF, so this is a great chance for students and college students to come out and to get that flu shot and not have to worry about it once they're going to, winter break, whatever their plans may be for winter break, whether they're staying in town or they're, going on vacation or they're going to be working. It's the best way to protect themselves and everyone this flu season.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have some video from our last event, which was on Monday, out in Sanford. And you can see in the video, like, it's fast. People are moving through. They've got a bunch of people out there making sure everyone gets their shot and then gets back to their day as quickly and easily as possible, correct?
Yeah, it's super, super convenient. And I think that's the great thing about this as well, because it's an opportunity to get the flu and protect yourself free of cost. And it's not going to, cause such, it's not going to put a crimp in your day, I guess you can say. If you have a moment throughout the day that you can come from 2 to 5 today, they'll get you in and out. And if you want to stick around, there's things to do as well. So if you're here with the kids, maybe they have early dismissal today and you're looking for something to do on this lovely Wednesday, beautiful afternoon, this is a great time to be together in family as well while getting a flu shot. Or if mom is coming to get it and she has kids to entertain, they got a lot of that stuff for her.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got the information up on the screen right now. It's over at University Boulevard, 11550 University Boulevard in Orlando, Florida. If you can't make it out today, we've got another event tomorrow. Are you going to be at that one as well?
I believe so, yeah. And that one's in Claremont. I have the flyer here, so I'm looking
excellent.
at that. So if you are in the Claremont area and you need a flu shot, you can see us there tomorrow.
Absolutely. So stop out there, get your flu shot, say hi to Stephanie. She is more than happy to, sign your I got the flu shot pin or sticker. I'm speaking for you now. Whatever motivates
I'll sign
the
it. I
people.
don't have great penmanship, though.
Okay. Well, we'll forgive you for that. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much. I know you're out there getting ready. We're going to see you again coming up at 4 and 4:30. The event runs from 2 to 5 today. If you're in the UCF area, make sure you go out there and get your shot. If you can't make it today, check out Claremont tomorrow. Stephanie, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. You have a great day.
Thanks.
All right. So we are going to take a quick break now, and thank you again, Stephanie, for joining us. But we're going to take a quick break now. Right after the break, we're going to get a check-in with digital meteorologist David Nazario. Again, he's going to be looking at the tropics and what's going on down there. We got a little bit of a curveball with some of our modeling today, so we're just trying to adjust and make sure that we are staying on top of this for you. We don't want anyone surprised by what's going to happen. As soon as we know anything, we bring it right to you, and David is going to be the man to do that. He's also going to be telling us about the weather in our area right here in Central Florida. It's beautiful, a little breezy, but very beautiful, and the weather is going to get even nicer as we head towards the weekend. All that's going to be coming up in about 2 minutes. So thank you for joining us, and please stick with us. Hello and welcome back to Take Six. I'm streaming, excuse me, I'm streaming executive producer Thomas Mates. Right now, we are going to get a check on the weather, specifically the tropics. As we've been saying all week, there is something brewing down there. What exactly that's going to look like remains a little up in the air and became a little bit more up in the air, maybe, than we were initially expecting earlier today. To explain it all, we are joined by the much stressed out David Nazario. David, I know this thing's been pulling your hair out. You've been having you rip your hair out all morning, but let's start with what we know for sure. Something is going to percolate in the Caribbean, and then that something is going to go somewhere.
Exactly. Something will be percolating in the Caribbean, and then from there it's headed somewhere. And as you mentioned, Thomas, I can just feel the gray hairs coming in as we speak because we had lots of really good continuity built up to this point. And then as of this morning, just kind of, it's over. I don't know. But anyways, folks, I'm News 6 meteorologist David Nazario. Thank you so much for joining us today on Take 6. I guess you could say that with the latest information, it is excellent news for us here in Florida. Now, whether or not that sticks, we still have a long way to go, but we're going to go ahead and get you up to speed on everything that we do know. And that being said, we're going to get started with the latest tropical outlook. So as Thomas led us off on a wonderful note, we do have very high confidence that a something is going to get going down there in the Caribbean, likely our next named storm, that being Sarah. We have a 90% shot that gets going maybe by the end of the day today. If not, a 90% chance overall that this will be forming within the next 48 hours at the max. And you can see on the satellite image underneath that little red blip, the code red blip brought to us by National Hurricane Center, there is some spin down there. It is spinning up, and we do have pretty decent thunderstorm activity firing around a broad center of circulation. Now, reconnaissance aircraft should be getting close, if not already in the storm, collecting some very pertinent information. And I do think that could partially be why it is our models are still somewhat guessing as to where it's going to go. If it's going to head west and become nothing more than just a mix of rain for those of us who are expected to receive it as we go through next week, or if it will manage to hold on and come up our way as something a little more than just some disorganized showers and storms. So now moving right along, this is going to be the GFS model. And you can see right down there, this is one of, I would say, over a half dozen models showing development down there in the Caribbean. Now, notice as the clock stops into this Saturday, it kind of meanders down there, and that is the tricky part. If you've caught some of our previous live streams during my tropical update at 11:30 leading into the Take 6 show here at noon, I've been mentioning that there are some key takeaways to include some fail modes to where being so close to Central America and during this time of year, we're not exactly ripe to see a high active or high performing system. We're walking a tightrope, if you will. If this thing wobbles to the west, it's going to crash into Central America. They will receive pretty catastrophic flooding as a result because this thing's going to meander and marinate down there for an extended period of time. Or if it manages to stay just offshore, as the GFS, the American model, shows here, it could take its time in consolidating before getting a ride out of there by our next upcoming frontal system that's expected to come through as we go through the next couple of days. Here's a latest look at the afternoon spaghetti plots. These are our favorite models to use, and you can see the general trend is there. You can see we are expecting it to slowly move off towards the west before recurving back towards the north. Now, the big thing I want you to pay close attention to is what happens to those models furthest to the west near Cancun and the Yucatan Peninsula. That there is what's going to pay us here in Florida dividends with this system. If it goes way too far inland and decides it wants to take a very, very late in the year trip to Mexico, then it's probably going to head our way as a very sloppy, disorganized mess of rainfall, just kind of inconvenience us next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If it manages to stay off the coast and kind of ride up the peninsula shore on the east side of it, maybe scraping through Cancun, unfortunately, it might come at us as a bit more of a menacing feature that we'll have to do battle with around that same time frame. this is what we have that's steering it. This is where it gets a little weird. We saw Raphael not too long ago that broke all the climatological rules. Instead of coming up towards us like we typically see systems do this time of year, it went as far west as it possibly could before Thanos blipped it and it just disappeared. And there's actually still a swirl in the Gulf of Mexico right now from Raphael. It is still out there kind of just sneakily staring at us from a distance. But anyways, this is what we have in terms of our upper level pattern. The first system is going to come through and create a large high pressure block to the north. Notice that big old H out there in the Gulf of Mexico. That's what's going to keep pushing it off towards the west, and it's on the southern side of that high pressure. And as a result, that's what's going to create that meandering effect. It's going to lollygag down there in the Western Caribbean before that next frontal system tries to come in and scoop it up and pull it back towards the north. You can see as that trough out over Denver, Los Angeles, the Four Corners states in the western United States comes through. You can see it does interact with the Yucatan based on our latest information, but then as we go through time, it reemerges over the Gulf of Mexico, and models are somewhat convinced that it will still have a chance to try to re-intensify before maybe becoming a weather player in our weather here in Central Florida. We're going to keep a very close eye on this. Obviously, we don't like to hear that, but to get on to some of the good news here, what I am excited to share with you all is the fact that that front is going to help provide us with a spectacular weekend. This is a live look outside right now. You can see the showers off to the west there over Louisiana, moving into Mississippi right now. That is that approaching front. So if you think it's warm, a little muggy, the heat index is a little uncomfortable for you as you step outside today, whether it be to go off to the office, go to the gym, run some errands, or go to school, we have relief on the way. These are our current temperatures out there right now, sitting in the low to mid 80s across much of our viewing area, and you can see the cooler temps really working their way down up over the mid-Atlantic, off towards the west. You can see those temperatures starting to come down as we go through time, and even for the day today, it's really not going to be too bad out there, looking at low to mid 80s as the highs for this afternoon, so we're really not going to climb anywhere further than where we sit right now. The heat index has thankfully come down. It feels just as it should. Last week, if you recall, stepping outside, you could feel just how high that humidity was cranked up. It felt more like August, September, which kind of makes a lot of sense since the tropics are behaving like it's still August, September, but that's neither here nor there. As we go through time, taking a look at what's coming, you can see that frontal system tracking through. And right there, this is Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m. local time. You can see the big delineation there between all the greens showing the moisture up over our neck of the woods and that punch of dry, cool air that's going to be coming in with that front as it works its way through. Thankfully, it'll be through our area as we go through Friday. And then here on Saturday, it may not look like much. This is going to be the weaker of the two frontal systems coming through, but it will help to bring down our temps. And finally, last but certainly not least, we're going to take a look at the next 3 days. You can see Wednesday and Thursday, we're still kicking it in the low 80s, but then take a look at Friday and into the weekend. Looking at mostly clear skies, maybe a stray cloud or two, but as that front comes through, we're going to be drying out pretty well, and you can see highs in the mid-70s on Saturday, trying to squeak back up to the 80s. But all in all, it looks like we are definitely in store for a pretty spectacular weekend before we maybe, that is a big maybe out there, folks, we might have to do battle with some kind of tropical activity as we go through the middle parts of next week and next weekend. Thomas, back to you, my friend.
Yep. Thank you so much. Of course, we'll be keeping an eye on that, but I'm grateful for the nice weather hitting our area, at least in the for the time being. Just before I let you go, I just want to take a mention, just because we were talking about this before and how this is a bit of a frustrating moment for the Pinpoint Weather Team and you yourself as a meteorologist, is that, you know, the people are going to, not everyone certainly, but some viewers are going to be like, oh, you guys are overhyping this, or, oh, you got it wrong. You said there was going to be something and there's not. Not the case. We, and by we I mean News 6, has always said there is going to be something there, and sure enough, there is going to be something there, and we never made a claim as to know exactly where it's going to go. So
Correct.
It is. Right now, we're just waiting and seeing what is going to happen. We are seeing science in action. There was a hypothesis. They tested it, and we got a result, and now we're testing that result, and we're getting a different result. So we're going to keep on testing, and our Pinpoint Weather Team is going to be watching it every step of the way to let you know exactly what's going to happen and what you can expect. Correct me if I'm wrong there, David.
No, you are absolutely right, bud. I would say that we executed the scientific method to the best of our ability, and unfortunately, the experiment went a little awry. But you know what? We're still going to stay dialed in. We need that reconnaissance aircraft data to get plugged into the models because since we still don't have a bona fide system down there quite yet, there is still room on the table for our models to be making some mistakes. We saw that wonderfully with Raphael and other storms this hurricane season. So just because we have some good news today, folks out there, I want you to keep in mind that I want you to check back with us on a day-to-day basis because whenever something forms down there, which is nearly a guarantee there will be formation, it's after that we still need to work hard to pinpoint exactly where it's going to go. I would highly encourage you to check back with us here at the Pinpoint Weather Team so we can dial in exactly what's going to take place once Sarah potentially hits the game board.
All right, David, thank you so much. I appreciate all your time and, of course, your expert explanations as to what is going on. We'll be seeing you, I'm assuming, a lot in the next couple days on Take 6 and, of course, on your own streaming program at 11:30, giving us daily updates. So if you haven't tuned in for one of those yet, make sure you do. At 11:30, right before our noon broadcast, David goes deep on the weather and gives you all the information you need to know, not just about the tropics, but about everything coming through our area. Right now, it's very tropics focused, though.
It is, yes.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
But yes, definitely join us for that 11:30 show on clickorlando.com or on our associated YouTube channels. We're happy to have you.
Absolutely. All right, David, I'm going to let you go then, get back to work on this, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
All righty, sir. Of course. Thank you.
All right. So before we let you go, rather than leaving on the note of there's something bubbling in the tropics, a bit of a bummer as we're getting close to the holiday season, let's take a little break. Let's take a look at at a holiday celebration, a holiday event that's happening right here in our area. It's a yearly event down at Gaylord Palms. News 6 insider guide and anchor Crystal Moyer is going to take a look at ice. She has a taste of what you'll be able to experience this year.
You may have been to ice before here at Gaylord Palms Resort, but this year is different. For the first time, it's featuring Elf in ice form. Dozens of artists are carving away at nearly 2 million pounds of ice, bringing the Christmas film Elf to life.
The artisans have been carving for almost 33 days straight. That's how long they have to carve. These artisans come from Harbin, China, literally halfway across the world.
The carvers using different instruments and printed design plans like this one to create the detailed ice structures. The attraction takes you through Buddy the Elf's journey from the North Pole to New York City.
So this is the Candy Cane Forest where Buddy is on his adventure to New York City to find his family, and he has his friends wishing him well.
And I see that, the ice has different colors in it. How are you guys able to make it so vibrant?
We have a scientist that the colors are created specifically for this ice, so they last all season.
You'll come face to face with recognizable characters like Mr. Narwhal, Jovi, and Santa as they work together to spread Christmas cheer. You'll also find some interactive elements here at ice. You can sit on these ice chairs next to Buddy while he's getting his shoes shined. And remember the iconic revolving door scene? You can actually get inside for a perfect photo op with Buddy. And this may well be the coldest place in Florida this holiday season.
We have 7 different air handlers to keep this space at a chilly 9 degrees throughout the entire season.
Admission comes with a parka to borrow to keep you warm. And yes, there are slides for kids and adults to enjoy.
We have 5 ice slides where everyone who is wearing a Gaylord parka will be invited to slide down as many times as they'd like. And we also have a 6th slide throughout the attraction. If you can find it, a hint will be the mail room.
Ice featuring Elf will soon be complete, and you'll be able to check out everything from the colorful New York City skyline to the crystal clear nativity scene November 15th through January 4th. For more information on ice featuring Elf, you can head to clickorlando.com/insider. And while you're there, you can enter to win a family 4-pack of tickets. In Kissimmee, Crystal Moyer, getting results, News 6.
My mic was off and I've been talking to myself. So as Crystal said, there is a contest happening right now on clickorlando.com/insider where you can win tickets to ICE, the elf-themed ICE, this holiday season. The contest is going on right now, but you have to be a News 6 insider to enter. So it is free to sign up. If you're not an insider already, it takes seconds to sign up, and then you get access to great content, stories from Crystal, and these sorts of contests that are available for you. You can win this family 4-pack of tickets to ICE this year. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be keeping an eye on the tropics, of course, and we'll have updates coming up on News 6 at 4. Julie Broughton will be back and bringing you the latest on that, along with all of your weather that you need, weather and news that you need for the rest of your day. Thank you again so much for joining us, and make sure that you make it out to our flu shots events. The first one is today at over in the UCF area, 11550 University Boulevard in Orlando. If you can't make it to that one, go out to Claremont tomorrow. That's 2345 East Highway 50 in Claremont. Both events are from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We hope to see you there. It's important to get your flu shot this flu season. Protect yourself and your family from the flu. We hope to see you on News 6 at 4. Thank you so much for your time today, and have a pleasant day.